Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Press Preview. I'm James Woolcock and I'm joined by Susannah, Keogh, the news editor of Exeposé, and Sarah Gough, the actual editor of Exeposé. How are you two doing today?
I'm good, thank you.
It's good to see. So I guess we'll start off by saying it's the sex edition this week, isn't it?
It is indeed.
Exeposé.
Yeah.
I was about to edit. What's going in there?
Yeah, it's been months in the planning, and finally, Exeposé is a reality.
You must be thrilled.
So thrilled.
We really are.
I think it's quite good on the back of Valentine's Day, which was yesterday, and the paper's out, and we've got sex content throughout, and it's a lovely, saucy, sexy edition.
So when we say sex content, let's get into the nitty-gritty, although hopefully not that nitty or gritty. What exactly have you got there?
Well, you'll see that our front page, we did a really big sex survey to all Exeter students. I think nearly 400 students took part in that. So we found out that 60% of students have admitted to having unsafe sex, which is obviously quite a worrying statistic. And we also found that nearly 80% of respondents thought that the university, well, not this university in particular, but university in general, encourages a casual sex culture. So we're really looking at kind of that, and then that also raises more questions about whether the university and the guild are providing enough services.
Well, that's very interesting, because moving on, I guess we have the Pratt elections just happened this week, and it could be interesting to tie in and see whether you think the SABs are interested in this issue. So who are our new SABs?
Yeah, so our other side of our front pages, we've got a lovely photo of Toby Gladwin, who's just won the guild president election by landslide, I think. His campaign was really well publicised, and the Huffington Post picked up his video and all of that kind of stuff.
We only want that kind of publicity, don't we? We could be killed for that.
Yeah, so he did really well winning, and we've also got an article inside detailing all the new SABs, so we've got some Exposé representatives in there, so very happy about that.
What do you think about the elections as a whole? Because turnout's gone down by a percent or two, hasn't it? Do you think that that's indicative of students being less caring about guild democracy?
I imagine the guild are slightly disappointed that they've gone down. I think last year's were record-breaking, and this year there's a few hundred less voters. But in their press release to us, they were still glorying in how many students are engaged. It's about 40% engagement rate, which is double the students' union sector average, and I think nearly double the Russell Group average. So
we're
still doing
great.
it right, yeah.
I guess other things that are new, we have a new restaurant opening on campus. Do tell us more.
We can finally confirm the thing that everyone knows already.
Pratt is replacing that half of the marketplace. It will be opening probably around the end of April. It's going to be like any normal Pratt. They'll have seating there and student employment opportunities as well. So you can get your avocado sandwiches and everything down there now, and you are yoga bunny drinks, whatever.
Is this the best thing that's ever happened to campus, or the thing that shows us all to be as middle class as always feared?
The university seems to think it is. They're like, it's the first Pratt that's ever been on a university campus. It's going to be
They're
so
very,
great.
very happy. They think that they're listening to student concerns by getting a new retailer in.
But the fact is, it's still quite a middle class, quite expensive food retailer. So is it really going to make that much difference to students? We kind of think it might make the marketplace a little bit more efficient, and they won't have like steam cookers on the shelf like they've had for years.
But on the other hand, we've now got a Costa, a Pratt, AMT all within 10 metres of each other, which just shows quite how middle class we might be.
Yeah, very true.
I guess moving on then, we have your very interesting feminist column online, which has been getting traction every week. What's on it this week?
Yeah, so we've kind of brought that online column into print this week, in that we've got a comment piece from a student who was bullied in halls for actually being a feminist. And it's really shocking, actually, what happened to her. I think in her halls, someone's put speakers in her room and started playing loud music late at night and putting signs on her door, and just horrible treatment, really.
And what made it start? Just because she said she was a feminist?
I think she clicked going on a feminist society event on Facebook, they saw it, and it kind of stemmed from there. But she actually had to leave halls, move out.
Very dangerous level of abuse. I mean, I'm glad you're reporting
Yeah, we're really grateful to her for sharing her story.
Yeah, it's like nothing I've ever read before. And because you think the university is such a liberal place, and potentially, sometimes it's not.
So we'd encourage you to check that one out. So moving on to your interviews, we have a very interesting one with Alan Johnson, the ex-Labour MP.
Yeah, Features have interviewed Alan Johnson. A little less of the sexy in that interview, but
you never know. Some people might be interested.
Yeah, he's talking about the EU and how he thinks there's no feasible reason for us to leave, and he's very strong on that point. So that made an interesting interview. And yeah, we have also got
on the other end of the spectrum.
on on the other end of the spectrum, we've got an interview with a porn star this
Well,
week.
I have to say you've covered both ends of the spectrum very nicely there.
Yeah,
We're all
It's
represented.
a lovely 2-page spread in Lifestyle.
Spread
with a
may be
guy-
the wrong word to use.
The guy called Lance Hart, and he's a veteran porn star and makes independent fetish films. And actually, it is a really great interview because he's talking about the industry as a whole and how, you know, his side of the industry is, he thinks, is a lot more safe, and the debate really between having, you know, porn as a safe medium of consumption and, you know, it being a really sordid industry that no one really wants to think about. So it bridges that gap well.
We've
Yeah,
got
check that out.
Yeah, we definitely should. And we've got it all packed in this issue of Exposé, from politics to sex. It's all there. So I'd encourage you to pick up a copy and also check on their online feminist articles. And I've heard from a little bird that we have the Exposé elections coming up sometime soon.
Yeah, but Susannah's really excited for these. Yeah, we've got our elections coming up in a couple of weeks. We're electing a brand new committee. We're probably one of the biggest committees on campus, I think. There's 54 of us in total. And,
How do you keep it all running?
Yeah, it's tough, but there's something out there for everyone. We've got photographers,
really
we've
is.
got section editors, we've got a marketing manager. So I'd really encourage everyone to take a look at what we do and whether they can get involved.
And we'll be having a pre-election social as well at the MP, so look on Facebook for that.
Well, thank you very much both to Sarah, our editor, and Susannah, our news editor. I've been James Woolcock. This has been Press Preview. Thank you for watching.